On Beyond Zebra by Dr. Seuss. To Helen. Said Conrad Cornelius O'Donnell Odell, my very young friend who has learned to spell. The A is for ape, and the B is for bear. The C is for camel, the H is for hare. The M is for mouse, and the R is for rat. I know all the 26 letters like that. Through the Z is for zebra. I know them all well, said Conrad Cornelius O'Donnell Odell. So now I know everything everyone knows from beginning to end, from a start to a close, because Z is as far as the alphabet goes. Then he almost fell flat on his face on the floor when I picked up a chalk and drew one letter more. A letter he never had dreamed of before. And I said, "You can stop if you want with the Z, because most people stop with the Z. But not me. In the places I go, there are things I see that I never could spell if I stopped with a Z. I'm telling you this because you're one of my friends. My alphabet starts where your alphabet ends. My alphabet starts with this letter called Yuz. I use it letter I use to spell Yazamataz. You'll be sort of surprised what there is to be found once you go beyond Z and start poking around. On beyond zebra. Explore like Columbus. Well, that line aged poorly, as the real Christopher Columbus killed and enslaved hundreds of innocent Americans. Discover new. Anyways, so on beyond zebra, explore like Columbus. Discover new letters like it's Columbus. My high-spelling whale lives high on the hill and never comes down till it's time to refill. So on beyond Z, it's high time you were shown and you really don't know all there is to be known. Then just step a step further past Wumbus, and there you'll find and the is for bus, a sort of a cow with one head and one tail. But to milk this great cow, you'll need more than one pail. She has 98 faucets to its teats, others that give milk quite nicely. Perhaps I forget just precisely. And boy, she's something most people don't see, because most people stop at the Z. But not me. I ramble, I scramble through swamp and through swamp, where letters get better, like letters like humph. There's a real handy letter. What's handy about it? You just can't spell hump-hump-a-dumper without it. If you stay home with zebra, you're stuck in a rut. But on beyond zebra, you're anything but. Why, I know a fine fancy letter called fuddle. I use it in spelling Miss Fuddle-dee-Duddle, and oh, what a bird of a bird of a bird of. Her tail's the longest it's ever been heard of. So long and so fancy, she'd be in the fix if she didn't have helpers. It takes about 6 to tag along, hoisting Miss Fuddle-dee-Duddle's wonderful tail out of muddle-dee-puddles. And Glick is for Glicker, who lives in wild weeds and spends his time juggling fresh cinnamon seeds, which he's usually able to find in great number, except in, of course, the months of September and October, when cinnamon seeds aren't around in great number. So that month, he juggles with seeds of cucumber. And Nuh is the letter I use to spell nutches, who live in small caves known as niches for hutches. These nutches have troubles, the biggest of which is the fact there are many more nutches and niches. Each nutch in a niche knows that some other nutch will like to move into his niche very much. So each nutch in a niche has to watch that small niche, or nutches. Whoever got niches will snitch and get stitches. Then we go on to Snee, and a Snee is for Sneedle, a terrible kind of ferocious mosquito whose humdinger stingers is as sharp as a needle. This needle's too tough to be killed with a smack, so he has to be hunted on elephant back. And your eyes and the elephants have to be keen, and you have to aim fast, and you have to hit clean, and the bullet you shoot is a stale navy bean that you've dunked for 3 weeks in old sour kerosene, which is awfully hard work, so it's easy to see why most people stop at the Z. But not me. This is the first time I've gone for a video without ever saying the word Z yet. Anyways, when you go beyond zebra, who knows? There's no telling what wonderful things you might find yourself spelling, like Quan is for quandary, who lives on a shelf in a hole in the ocean, alone by himself, and he worries each day from dawn's early light, and he worries, just worries, far into the night. He just stands there and worries. He simply can't stop. Is his top side his bottom, or bottom side top? And FNAT is for FNATers, and all are they shadow. The big one you see has a small one shadow. The shadows a small FNATer has should be his. I don't understand it, but that's how it is. A terrible mix-up in shadows. Gee whiz. Now we go, and here's the letter. Here's the page that aged poorly. The reason why it's racist? The Arabins. So, Spaz is the letter I use to spell Spazzim, a beast who belongs to the Nazzim of Bazzim. Handy for traveling. That's why he has them. More easy to pack in a suitcase or grip. Those horns carry all that he needs on a trip. A thread and needle for mending his socks, his toothbrush, a cup, and 2 free-handed clocks, his velvet umbrella, his vegetable chopper, and also his gold-plated popcorn popper, and a grasshopper cage for his favorite grasshopper. And Floob is for Floob-boo-boo-baboo-boo-bubs, who bounce in the water like blubbery chubs. They're no good to eat. You can't cook them like steaks, but they are handy in crossing small oceans and lakes. And Zatz is the letter I use to spell Zatzit, whose nose is so high that most nobody pass it. So patting his loyal nose is the least that Vel could do for this fine friendly beast. So, to get there and do it, I built an invention. The Freezer Zatzin nose patting extension. If you try to drive one, you'll certainly see why most people stop at the Z. But not me. And Jog is my letter for spelling Jogoons, who doodle around in the far desert dunes. Just doodle around, crooning very sad tunes about peppermint, peanuts, and pebbles and prunes, and paint dots, and polka dots, pinheads, and pigs, and grandmothers, grandfathers, stepsisters, wigs. So, you see, there's no end to the things you might know, depending how far beyond zebra you go. I've a letter called Flun, and the Flun is for Funnel, a softish, nice fellow who hides in the tunnel. He only comes out of his hole, I'm afraid, when the right kind of softish, nice music is played, of a kind of a hunting horn called the Ogrumph, and to learn how to play it takes month after month of practicing. Practicing isn't much fun. Besides, it's quite heavy, weighs almost a ton. That's why few people bother to play the Ogrumph. So the Funnel's been out of his tunnel just once. And way past Z is a letter called Itch, and the Itch is for Ichapods, and animals which race around back and forth and back through the air on a very high sidewalk between here and there. They're afraid to stay there. They're afraid to stay here. They think there's too far. They think here's too near. And since here's too near and out there's too far, they're too scared to roost wheresoever they are. Here's a letter called Yek, and the Yek is for Yeko, who howls in an underground grotto in Gecko. Or Geico. These Yekos love echoes, and this is their motto. For best Yeko echoes, try Gecko, our grotto. Oh, the things you can find if you don't stay behind. On the world near the sun live 2 brothers called Vrooms, from letter Vroo, who, strangely enough, are built sort of like brooms, and are stuck all alone up there high in the blue. And so, to kill time, just for something to do, each one of these fellows takes turns with the other, sweeping the dust off his world with his brother. And high's my letter for High Gargalorum. For getting me places real fast, I'm all for 'em. They puffle along and their brakes never squeak, and they run every hour, every day of the week, to the town of North Nub, to the town of East Downs, making stops at West Bungo Field, the Upstern Jounce, and Ipswich, and also South Bounce, and another small town that's too hard to pronounce. The places I took him. I tried hard to tell young Conrad Cornelius O'Donnell Odell a few brand new wonderful words he might spell. I led him around and I tried hard to show there are things beyond Z that most people don't know. I took him past zebra as far as I could. I think perhaps maybe I did him some good, because finally he said, "This is really great stuff, and I guess the old alphabet isn't enough." Now, the letters he uses are some and a C. Most people still stop at the Z, but not he. List of letters. Here's some list of letters for people who don't stop at Z. Yus is for Yusmataz, Wum is for Wumbus, is for Rumbus, Humph is for Humph-Humph-a-Dumpher, Fuddle is for Misfuddle-de-Duddle, Click is for Clicker, Nuh is for Nutches, Sneeze for Sneedle, Quan is for Quandary, Fnaz for Fnatter, Spaz is for Spazzim, Floop is for Floop-bababababs, Zats is for Zatsit, Jog is for Jogoons, Flun is for Flannel, Itch is for Itchapaws, Yuck is for Yucko, Vroo is for Vrooms, High is for Hygog or Orm. And what do you think we should call this one anyhow? The end. No muzzles were harmed in making the alphabet.